Hello everyone, and welcome to Breaking It All Down. I'm Count Zero, and today I'm going to be taking care of my recaps of the Ubisoft press conference, and hopefully today I'll be able to get a second video out covering the Sony and the Nintendo press conferences. If not, hey, that's okay. But I will get to my thoughts on all those eventually. So Ubisoft press conference did not start off with any gameplay. Or anything particularly like that. Instead, it was more highlighting the 25th anniversary of Ubisoft, which is cool. I mean, I've been doing recaps on my blog of various old video game magazines, so I was aware of how old Ubisoft actually is. But it is nice to remember, nice to get a bit of a reminder of that the big powerhouses of the video game industry, that the third-party developers of ours, how old this industry has actually been. We then start off with a look at the new Rayman game, Rayman Origins, with the president of Ubisoft, which is kind of cool. He's actually a pretty cool guy. I would like to see him on stage doing press conference stuff more often. He has a lot of character. He has a lot of energy. He has but he's not too enthusiastic. He's not too over the top. He gives an impression that he cares and he's interested in what he's talking about. He's not trying to put on a false front for the sake of the audience, which is really good. More people need to do this. In fact, we did get that earlier with. Actually, we will get that later on at Sony's press conference with Capcom's representative. I bring that up now because of stuff that's going to come on that comes up after this in the press conference. So we look at Rayman Origins, we get a look at some of the platforming gameplay, we get a stage with a nice little Tetris reference there, nice and cute. We had a little side-scrolling shoot-'em-up stage, all looks really nice, really fun multiplayer gameplay, has a nice combination of cooperative and competitive. I like that, really good, really fun. It looks like a game I want to play. So that's cool. And after the high point, everything kind of starts slowly going downhill from there. Because here comes, I don't know if I get his name right, so that we can properly blame Aaron Priceman, aka Mr. Caffeine. This is the most annoying person I have ever seen host a press conference before in my life. My God. Joel McHale was bad, but I didn't want him dead. He was obnoxious, he was annoying, but I wouldn't have cheered it, but I wouldn't have been ecstatic if someone came on stage and beat the crap out of him in front of the entire audience on national television. Not so much Mr. Caffeine. Mr. Caffeine is all that is wrong with all press briefings ever. He is bubbly, cheerfully. He's too cheerful. He's too energetic. Instead of trying to get the audience excited, he tries to wear the audience out and succeeds. He does jokes which don't work, or at best just either annoy, or at best just fall flat. And they wouldn't take him off stage. I mean, he'd go off stage for a bit with a game demo, and then they try him back out for whenever they show off but a Assassin's Creed game, or Ghost Recon, or Driver. You come out here and go, what would this game be like 26 years ago? And then we see Driver parallel lines, but see the Driver, the new Driver game, as if it was like a 2600. Well, we start with a faux retro thing where everything's sort of the limited number of colors of a retro game, and then we take it a little further out to make it something that's maybe a little more realistic for a retro game, but not quite. Like the Driver San Francisco game for the close-up is way too modern, but retro-styled modern. but when it pulls all the way out, it went like 2600 level, where it's like city blocks with moving dots and and then there's different colored dot for what your car is, or pixel, which that was kind of dumb. Some of these were okay though, of the little things. They pictured Ghost Recon as being sort of more like classic XCOM, which works. And I'll mention I play that game. If you did classic XCOM styled Ghost Recon, or Rainbow Six, or classic XCOM styled XCOM, I'd totally be there. But otherwise not. But the problem is the framing thing of Mr. Caffeine and his "What it'd be like 26 years ago." I'm not being silly here. He did that. He did the Wayne and Garth thing. Really? All he's doing, I don't know what they're thinking. I mean, all they're doing is reminding me that I could be watching watching a good movie right now instead of an obnoxious press conference. There's no good reason for that. So there's that. We get anyway. So going from that, so now I've gotten my little gripe about the framing discussion out of the way. Move on to the various little segments. We get Driver San Francisco, no gameplay, just a trailer. Whatever. It's Driver. It's in San Francisco with lighter traffic than the city actually has. We got Far Cry 3 next. This one actually didn't get the annoying preface trailer. We went straight into it. So we didn't know at first that we were getting a Far Cry trailer, which was actually kind of nice. It gave it suspense and surprise. It looks good. Sounds of things, they've gotten rid of their obnoxious... semi-obnoxious. I haven't played Far Cry 2, so I can't speak for it myself, or my reaction to it. It's something they've gotten rid of the weapon degradation system, which is kind of good. If I get a gun I like, I want to keep it. The villain looks interesting. I mean, it would kind of be nice if they had the... If you're going to do the, what the definition of insanity is joke, finish the sentence. Or have the punchline of it be at the end of the thing, when basically it starts out with the villain starting this sentence as he's killing these civilians, and then tries to kill our character. He escapes and does all this stuff and gets recaptured. The video's online. But he gets recaptured, and he's recaptured by the bad guy, and the bad guy starts off again with what the definition of insanity is. You can have him finish the sentence there, and the punchline, and that could be the punchline. That could be cool. But anyway, there's that. Gearbox is publishing through Ubisoft a World War II game, the new Brothers in Arms game, but they're doing it in the style of Inglourious Bastards, except instead of having them all be Nazi hunting Jews, it's various. It's you have the wild-eyed Southern boy, and you got. I wanted to say an Irish American guy, and you have. I kid you not, a Native American guy with war paint chucking tomahawks. Really? You're gonna go for that mildly racist stereotype? You're not gonna have the African American. Do you want to toss an African American soldier throwing spears in there? You're not going to have a Hispanic soldier with bandoliers of bullets in front of him, 2 revolvers, and a straw hat. I can think of a bunch more stereotypes on par of that. I mean, you're not having him going howl, you're not having him whooping like a stereotypical movie Indian, but he's got like stereotypical Indian war paint, and he's throwing tomahawks, and all he's missing is feathers stuck in his helmet. And this is a series that was known for its grim and gritty realism in painting World War II how it really was. Meant to be the band of brothers and Saving Private Ryan of World War II video games. Anyway, we then get a little thing talking about the upcoming Tintin licensed game from Ubisoft related to the movie. Apparently Spielberg and Peter Jackson are involved with this, which is cool. Both of them have gotten involved in games in the past, and Peter Jackson's project didn't pan out, but Spielberg's did, Boom Blocks, and it turned out well. This doesn't turn into vaporware. This is where we get the game. Then here we get the gameplay for Ghost Recon. They attack a base, rescue a VIP, and the demo ends before the end of the mission. And then there's Ghost Recon Online, which is I don't know if it's a console online game with just free multiplayer, or if this is a free-to-play game. They're not clear. The gameplay, the graphics look low enough quality that I could see this being free-to-play through a browser, kind of like what id was doing with Quake 3 Online. Maybe. We had a bunch of coverage of Trackmania 2, particularly the Canyon release, which looks fine. I like Trackmania, and to be honest, I haven't played any of the I haven't played any of the pay versions of the game, but the Canyon environment looks good. If they give this a sort of Trackmania Nations Forever treatment of maybe after a few releases come out where one of the environments becomes free or greatly reduced price, then that's pretty cool. We'll have to see when we get there. Next is Rayman Raving Rabbids, or rather the new Rabbids game for Kinect. It looks fun. It's a Kinect minigame collection, just like all the other Rabbids games. Okay, so hey, there'll be some semi-clever jokes possibly in there. But it's Rabbids, it's Kinect. I'm not going to play it. I don't own Kinect. I probably will never own Kinect. To go with the announcement of Dance Central 2, we have Ubisoft announcing Dance Central 3 for Kinect. So Dance Central's now going to have direct head-to-head competition, which could be interesting. I don't know enough about the Dance Central games to know how well the music library carries over between them as far as like the dance and music library. So it'd be a question of, with Dance Central, will it have a big enough song? Will its, say, possibly larger song library for that specific game top the song library for Just Dance 3? Let's see. Another fitness game in the U-Shape series. Yeah, but just to go back to earlier point, yeah, Mr. Caffeine got really, really annoying. This was the most fucking painful press conference to watch in some time. It wasn't even like the train wreck and slow motion stuff from like last year. Anyway, wrap this up quickly. Assassin's Creed. We start out with what looks like Ezio's last stand. He gets caught by bad guys. It looks like either flash back to Altair or flash forward to Desmond with some of the stuff as far as what Ezio's seeing. It's not too clear, but it looks cool. We're in Istanbul. It's 1522, so it's Istanbul, not Constantinople. No, Ezio can't go back to Constantinople because it's Istanbul, not Constantinople. Anyway, gameplay looks really good. Has actually possibly an even more minimalist interface. A great gameplay, nice little turret bit with a where they're using Greek fire. Anyway, Greek fire to take out a fleet of Templar ships. And that's that for the Ubisoft press conference. I'll try getting a couple more videos up before the end of the week for Sony and Nintendo with my thoughts on the Vita and the Wii U.